Good morning, sir.
Yes, very good morning.
Sir, we'll wait for another 5 minutes. A few more people to join, sir. After that, we'll
Okay,
start.
okay.
Okay, sir.
ఇంకా కొద్దిగా ఇలా మొత్తం తగ్గచ్చు.
Sir, can you see the screen, sir?
Yes, 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 I can see.
Yes. Sir.
Sir, please start the session.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. N. Sudhir Kumar. I'm the session host today. Today we have with us Professor Madhupalli Suresh Kumar Garu. Let me give you a brief information about him before we start the session. He is our guru. He is our teacher in our MA, MPhil, and our PhD guide also, both for me and the convener, Mr. PVN Malleswara, sir. We are in this position because of him. We are very grateful for you, sir. So, with this word, I would like to just read the brief bio of yours. Sir. It goes into pages and pages, but because of the time constraint, I'm reading a few words about him. Professor Madhupalli Suresh Kumar Garu has 27 years of teaching experience at undergraduate and post-graduation levels, with 21 years of service at Acharya Nagarjuna University alone. He has published more than 55 research articles in national and international journals and authored or edited several scholarly books. His book, The Text and the Context, is widely referred book in translation studies. He has successfully guided over 37 PhD scholars and more than 20 MPhil students. While currently supervising additional doctoral research, his academic contributions include major UGC funded research projects. He has extensive conference participation at national and international levels. He has also acted as the chairman of NAC peer committee for so many colleges, and he has taken up editorial responsibilities for reputed journals. He has also received the Best Teacher Award from the government of Andhra Pradesh in 2018. And presently, he is serving as the principal of Arts and Science College, Acharya Nagarjuna University. With these words, I would like to hand over the session to Professor Suresh Kumar Garu, and I will project the PPT, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for your nice words, Sudhir. And it's my pleasure to join with you. And my association with Bapatla Engineering College is long back, 20-25 years. And in fact, I was called and I was invited to be as their lecturer during the last time the deceased secretary was there. And I settled in Tenali, first as VSR and NVR college, and then I have promoted to Acharya Nagarjuna University. Since 2003, I have been in Acharya Nagarjuna University. And today's topic is translation studies and transcultural narratives. What do you mean by translation studies and transnational cultures, transcultural things? First, let me tell you one thing. Our India is a multilingual country, and here we have so many languages. It is believed around 600 languages alone are there in India. We have around 21, 22 official languages. Whereas when we take some countries like China, England, America, they have only one language, one nation. One language, one nation. But coming to India, that we have many languages. That's why a nation should not be divided by language. A nation should not be divided by language. As you know, the history also, okay, man has created at first one language with one language and it was developed into many languages and Babel story also. And today we are concentrating only on translation studies because the topic which was given to me is translation studies, transcultural narratives. Before that, we would know, and I would like to ask you some questions because it is the learning art of the questions. There are only four ways of asking questions in English. That is this. And we have to question ourselves. Are you a teacher? Do you know the answer? Who are you? What do you know? Really? Are you a teacher? Do you know the answer? These two are called as yes or no type questions. Who are you? What do you know? Explanatory questions. Okay. First of all, when we start the art of questioning, then only for our knowledge starts. That is what I wanted to know. And later we can continue. Next slide, please. What are the language functions and cultural values and the role of language in culture? See, language is as old as human race. Maybe you are thinking of a written language or like that. Even before evolves that also, we have body language, we have different theories of the origin of language. Language is there for communication. The communication, it and all that. So the function of language basically is for communication. But beyond that, the function of language is to give you aesthetic pleasure, to give you happiness to your heart also, not only for the work of brain. That is what I wanted to focus on, not only just for the sake of communication. Why do we get translated the books which were so popular in other language into our language? The reason is you do not know that language. At least you wanted to taste the beauty of that work in your language. That is the reason that we get the works in translation. Nowadays, with the expansion of technology, with the expansion of translation technology and tools of translation, Google Translate is the first one we see. After that, after Babel translation, Yahoo, Siri, there are so many Gemini AI. There are so many translation tools now came into the scene. And particularly in countries like China and Japan, they are using translation tools. To what extent? I'm surprised. When I went to China in 2019, when I am purchasing a t-shirt, I'm saying in rupees and talking in English. And just they hold a phone in front of me and it has translated into their Chinese language. And she says in her Chinese language, and it has shown me in English. This is the story of 6 years back, 7 years back. So, a very common man, common vendor also utilizing and using the services of translation. To give you that example, I gave you that example. And coming to all the time, we give importance to English literature, English literature, English literature. But Indian English literature, and that too, the literatures in translation, Indian literatures in translation is my focused area. That means Telugu literature in translation of English, Tamil literature in English, Hindi literature in English. Likewise, the great works of Indian writers and minds to be introduced to the West and to the world. That is the purpose that even our department name also is changed as Literatures in English. That is Department of Literatures in English. So go to the next one. And coming to, have you observed his name? Have you seen? Please see a very old one. Memoirs of the lives of poets. Next, this is the picture, old first title page book. Go to the next slide. It has its details. See, it is Venkata Ramaswamy while describing the lives of around 82 poets from South India and mainly from Andhra Pradesh and their works and their more beautiful translations. Even the great writer like Jagannath Panditaraya. Do you know what is his specialty, Jagannath Panditaraya? He has written Ramayana and Mahabharata in such a way, if you start reading from beginning to the end, it gives the meaning of Mahabharata. And if you read from down to up, it gives the meaning of Ramayana. Such a great, talented people that they are, and how their works and those people's writings were, their lives were, even during the William Bentinck time. That means around 125 years back itself, that you could find the Telugu poets in English. And it was done by Venkata Ramaswamy, Kaveti Venkata Ramaswamy. And these are the writers at that time: Vemulavada Bhimakavi, Vidyanatha, Bhattamurti, and these writers. Go to the next one. This is just to show you the existence of translations from a long time. And another very, very famous one. See the time, 1780 to 1835. Even at that time, there is no rail, there is no proper roads. At that time itself, Yenugala Veera Swami, okay, Swamaya, he has written a book, Kasi Yatra Charitra. It's a travelogue, really. Okay, how he has started his journey from Godavari districts and how he has reached Kasi on foot, and in his travel, what are the problems, what are the lives, what are the peoples, their livelihood, and as well as their living style, all were explained in that book, Kasi Yatra Charitra. And it was published in 1835 itself, during those period itself. And one of the oldest books that we could see the travelogue. Okay, today travelogue is one of the very popular form. A suitable boy, in fact, is like a written like a travelogue only, which has got 1 crore as honorarium for the writer Vikram Seth. But I tell you, Enugula Vera Swami's work is 120 years back, 30 years back, like that. We can see more than that. Go to the next one. Okay. Our focus is now on English. And please read yourself. English is difficult. Why? Particularly these Chinese people nowadays that they are reading English, but they have once all the books were translated into their language, Chinese language, and they do not want to be controlled by the Americans. That's why they do not use WhatsApp or Facebook or anything. They have their own. Okay. When the president of China has gone to Barack Obama, we translators will do the rest of the work. First, just an introduction. Just you can say, how are you? And automatically the president will say, I am fine, and you. Generally, that is what we expect. But this fellow, the Chinese president, prime minister or president, couldn't say, how are you? Instead of that, he said, who are you? When he met Barack Obama. Barack Obama was surprised and he has taken back because he is regarded as a world number one leader and all that. That he came and asked me, who are you? And so he has taken it in a lighter way and said, simply, I am the husband of Michelle Lee's, Michelle Lee husband. And who was trained by the translators, the president also said, me too, ha ha ha. So don't take English is so easy and it is difficult, but that English is so easy for the Telugu people because English has only 26 letters, whereas in Telugu we have 56 letters and Gunintas also. That means around 150 letters, 150 plus letters we know. That's why we can do it well. And coming to the next one, who is also regarded as a modern father of linguistics, Chomsky. Simply what Chomsky says also in a very brief manner, generative theory of language, he says that there is a universal grammar, universal issues, and universal points. Languages may be differ, but their basic concept is the same thing. Okay. I'm not going into the details, just I'm giving this as a part of introduction. Go to the next one. And all languages are not equal. How come? How we can say that? Because some languages have 3 lakh words, some languages have 1 lakh words, some languages have 5 lakhs words, some languages have only 50,000 words. The most popular, you say English. English has around 1,70,000 words only. But whereas our native language, Gujarati, has 2,81,000 words. Every day it grows, either English or Gujarati. I am giving you just an example. The highest number of words are there in Gujarat. That is why Gujarati is that one. And Russian has only 2 lakh words. And you say the more Mandarin is the language which has been spoken, highest number of the people spoken in the world. It is not English. Mandarin is the Chinese language. And all 140 crore people speak that Mandarin language only. Jen Pingji and before him, Mao. There were so many languages and so many dialects were there. But Mao deliberately has created only one dialect and he made one nation, one language and made all other languages to die naturally or by forcibly. So that is their policy and they did it like that. Not only China, even that Mandarin language is spoken by neighboring countries. Japan, Taiwan, okay, and other neighboring countries also. So, my intention to tell you and to give you this data, all languages are not equal. Okay, next. It is the dialogue which was there in the authorized Bible, authorized Holy Bible. There is a saying, what the service done by the translation to the Bible also done the same service to translation. In our Telugu language, we can say ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ వలన బైబిల్కి ఎంత ఉపయోగం జరిగిందో బైబిల్ వలన కూడా ట్రాన్స్లేషన్కి అంతే ఉపయోగం జరిగింది. ఎందుకంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ ద మిషన్, బైబిల్ మిషన్. దే హ్యావ్ పుట్ ఎ మిషన్, MISSION, నాట్ మెషిన్, బైబిల్ మిషన్. Their main primary objective is even 10 people who speak their language also, the Bible should be translated to that language also. They believed in native language only one can understand the voice of the God clearly and easily. But there are stories. When you want to translate Bible, those who tried to translate, they were branded as traitors and they were killed. And it is a different story. And our students read the history of Bible translation and how many have sacrificed their lives, how the people have been killed just for trying to do translating the Bible into English or into other languages. But finally it is mentioned, it is made, translation is that opens the window to let in the light, that breaks the shell that we may eat the kernel. If I translate into our language, Telugu, మనకి వెలుతురు జ్ఞానము అనేటటువంటి కిటికీని ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తుంది. ఒక పండులో ఉండేటటువంటి గుజ్జుని పగలగొట్టి తీసుకోవటానికి పగలగొట్టే సాధనంగా ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. Which means it is the window to the world of knowledge. as well as it is the essence of knowledge. Go to the next one. Go to the next slide. And we will see the two sides of the coin. See the quotations by Pushkin and Karl Marx. Quite contradictory, quite opposite. One says translators are the workhorses of our civilization by Pushkin. Karl Marx, translators are traitors. Which one we have to agree? ట్రాన్స్లేటర్స్ అనేవాళ్ళు దేశద్రోహులు, ట్రాన్స్లేటర్స్ అనేటటువంటి వాళ్ళే ఈ కల్చర్ ని ముందుకు తీసుకొని వెళ్ళేటటువంటి వారధులు. Quite opposite. Translator is the culture bearer. The other one says he is a traitor. Both are correct. But again, it depends on the context. On what context that they have said. Karl Marx might have said translation as an agent of colonization, because they have established the system of Dvibhashi, Dubasi, and with the help of the native people that they expanded their colonization and all that. That's why translation as a negative force also that he has seen. That is what we have to see. Okay, go to the next one. As an academic discipline, translation studies has become popular from 1980s onwards. That means around 50 years back. The journey of translation studies has started around 50 years back. What is the main fields that translation studies deals, and what is the combination, or it is like a interdisciplinary course like that. It has interdiscipline. That's why it is an academic interdiscipline which deals with comparative literature, computer science. Why computer science? Because computer is a translation tool. History, linguistics, philosophy, semiotics, and terminology. All these fields have some way, somehow, a little link with the other. That is why translation is not alone can survive. It is the combination of many disciplines together we can make translation studies. Okay, go to the next one. Coming to the business of translation and the need of translation, the use of translation.
Everything okay, sir? Hey, వినిపించట్లేదు.
So,
వినిపించట్లేదు. సార్
so
సార్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ ఆడిబుల్ సార్. సార్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ ఆడిబుల్ సార్. మ్యూట్ లో లేరు కదా. ఏమన్నా ఏమైందో సార్, కెన్ యూ హియర్ మీ సార్? కెన్ యూ హియర్ మీ సార్? మేడం,
ఇప్పుడు నేను ప్రొఫెసర్ సురేష్ అనే
కెన్ యూ హియర్ మీ సార్? కెన్ యూ హియర్ మీ సార్? సార్, ప్లీజ్ అన్మ్యూట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్ సార్.
I think now it is.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll share the screen.
You can share the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How many are there attendees?
Around 50 are there.
Okay. I think my voice is audible now.
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Okay. I am giving you the example of the business of translation bot. What is this translation bot? For example, you purchase a product from Amazon, and when you are making chart, that it is automated chart. Even the languages also, that customer care, when you are answering, that is also automated voice. That is all the business of translation is doing now. Not only this, even in the film industry also, preparing the film in one language and making into the other language, not only just dubbing, not only just making subtitles. This is all the business of translation. Okay, let us go to the next main topic. This is all at the introduction level only, to tell you the importance of translation and translation studies. As I told you, that Jean Paul Vinay as well as Jean Dobelnet have produced their book, that is, which was very, very important from 1995 onwards. But we can say Eugene A. Nida, who is a famous Bible translator, has proposed the theory of dynamic translation theory, that we will see it in the next slide. Go to the next slide. As I told you, these are the areas translation studies will deal. That is sociologies of translation, post-colonial translation studies, gender studies, as well as ethics and audiovisual translation studies, and non-professional translation also. Okay, non-professional translation goes that literary translation. Okay, next. So if I want to tell the translation in words or instead of words in pictures, this old advertisement of Nokia is the correct one. What is that? You might have people around the 40 years, people might have seen this ad, and when you open the Nokia phone, there are two hands coming together and touching. And what is the title line they say? Connecting people. So the primary purpose of translation is connecting people. And once there was a film before this, Kodak, share memories and save life. Okay. So Kodak, share memories also. Connecting people and share memories are the best picture I can show you to say the function of translation studies. Go to the next one, Suresh. Sudhir. As I told you, with the intervention of the internet and the speed of the internet, the services of translation also has improved. We are talking about 5G, but in China, 6G is also in implementation. That means you can download a film within 10 seconds. Okay, go to the next one. Go to the next slide. No need this. How the writers, how many words they have used. Now we have come to the core topic of this today's lecture. That is translation theories and the works of translation in 5 words. I show you A, B, C, D, E. Till now, I have explained you as introduction only. And I try to project you in a nutshell in this 30 minutes lecture the whole picture of translation studies in A, B, C, D, E. And let us first see number one aspect of translation. Translators should develop an attitude of gratitude and aptitude. unless you love the work that you cannot do justice to your translation. That's why a translator should have aptitude towards the work. Unless you like the work, unless you love the source text, that you cannot do justice to your target text. That's why aptitude is of very important. And at the same time, you must remember you are the second author. You are not the first author. First author is the writer of the source language text. That's why you should show gratitude. You should show gratitude to the first author because you are the second author. Remember that. That's why you should show gratitude towards first author, and also you must love the work. That is the title, what I say, aptitude. You should show the gratitude of aptitude as well as gratitude. And basically, that there are three types of translations we can find. One is author centered approach, text centered approach, and reader centered approach. Any translated work can be categorized among these three: author centered approach, text centered approach, reader centered approach. Very simple. The middle one, text centered approach, is the most followed method because they take the text as it is and they try to put the meaning of that text into the other language. But other centered approach as you are a traitor to the other. That is called as a other centered approach. You should follow and try to say what the other has said. But here I would like to mention what other has said also may not remember or may not create it. Because as you know, the story of Charlie Chaplin, during his lifetime itself, Charlie Chaplin, that they have made a competition of Charlie Chaplin's dress code and action like that. Hundreds of people come like in the form of Charlie Chaplin. The real Charlie Chaplin also went and participated in the competition. And you know, he stood as the fifth place, not in the first place. Those who have imitated him have stood first, second, third, fourth. And also you must remember the dialogues of Robert Browning. When I am writing, only two people know, me and the God, the meaning. After completion of the writing, only one knows the meaning. That is God only, not me. So every writer, every texter has a chance of multiple meaning. Multiple meaning. Unless you get that multiple meanings, you are not doing justice to your translation. That's why you need to go into the text, deep reading of the text. That's why there is a saying, if you want to understand the text, read once. If you want to interpret the text, read it twice. If you want to translate the text, read 10 times before you start translation. Because each reading reveals you different meanings. That's why really even in your works also, when you translate the text into your language, you will never forget the text. That is what I do practice even in my classrooms also. I will make them to translate English to Telugu, Telugu to English very often. Even recently also, I have posted in Facebook and other places, social media. making my students Evam Indrajit in Telugu. Actually, Evam Indrajit was written in Bengali, that was translated into English by Girish Karnad, and now our students are practicing in Telugu. The drama they enacted. That is what other-centered means. Always it insists on faithfulness. Text-centered means as long as you catch the meaning and reproduce the meaning, there is no objection. Third one, reader-centered. Here, the freedom level is more and faithful level is less. What the reader wanted, you try to give. That means to please him. Communicative approach. Here it is subjective also. But you shouldn't be subjective. You need to be objective in your work. Objective. Okay? Your likes and dislikes must not reflect in your translation. You must be always objective while doing the translation. Go to the next one, please. Go to the next slide, please. After A, which comes? B. Again, it has gone. Sharing. Sharing has gone. Okay. Next, B indicates bring in, bring out. Okay. What you bring in and what you bring out. That is of important. B. Okay. Bring in means you must try to bring in, bring across. Okay, that is what I said. B. Bring in and bring across. That means bring in the matter of the source language into the target language. Okay. How you bring and put it, bring across. That is why it is divided three types of translation. That is intralingual translation, interlingual translation, intersemiotic translation. After you see the definition of intersemiotic, almost everything is translation. How? I will briefly explain you. Intralingual means one language, within one language only. For example, Ori Gardhaba. It is there in the dialogue of Yamagola. Okay? Then the fellow may not understand whether you are praising or criticizing. When you say Gadida, that means donkey, automatically that he will understand that Sir is angry and I have to be very careful. That is what? That means Gardhabamu Gadida. That is from difficult to simple, or from poetry to prose. From poetry to prose. During your school days, you might have known when they give a poem, they ask you to meditate pratipadardham. That means analyze each word. Automatically, you will try to understand the meaning of the poem. So, intralingual means within the language also, from difficult to simple, that is called intralingual translation. And interlingual means between two languages. Between two languages. Intersemiotic means it is changing from verbal to non-verbal, non-verbal to verbal. For example, R.K. Narayan has written a novel, The Guide. It was made as a film, The Guide. There are so many novels were made as films. Devadasu, okay, Vipranarayana, many works, including the latest Robo, okay, all those things. So these are all nothing but intersemiotic. And what I have explained in 1 hour can be painted by a painter in a single painting. What one book explains, one painting can explain. That is also intersemiotic translation. That means from verbal to non-verbal you are making. And there are many things. When you go to on your bike, you will see so many signals, right, left, bed, that there is a signal of a symbol of bed is there. It indicates it is a hospital and you should not use the horn. It's a universal language. That means verbal language has been explained. Verbal language has been explained in a non-verbal language. Why we think of all these examples? You can take the example of toilets. When you go to a hotel, restaurant, or college, or anywhere, different places, different people, different country people will come. Do you write man, woman? Instead of that, simply you put the picture of a man, the picture of a woman. Simple. Don't ask me nowadays. There are so many people coming, and those are also like that. We are dealing with the major genders only. Okay. So this is called as a verbal and non-verbal. This type of translation is very much in use. You do not know. Everywhere the translation is there. When you are acting means that is also you are doing translation. You are trying to put your ideas through your face. That is also you are translating your thoughts into action. That is why the range of translation is not very limited. It is very, very far. You cannot imagine. Come to the third one. Next. Next slide, please. As I told you at the beginning itself, text is the product of the context. Any text depends on the context only. Because the way you use the language with your close friend, the way you use the language with your family members, the way the language you use with your higher officials, the way the language you use with the strangers, are they common? No. Definitely it is different. Even with your officials also. When you are personal with your official, your way of language is different. And when you are in the meeting with your officials, your language is different. That is why your production of the text depends on the context. Yes or no? It is the context which decides the text. That's why you should know not the denotative meaning. It is the connotative meaning. What is the inner meaning? What is the inner meaning? For example, if you see the Othello's dialogues before he kills the Desdemona, put off the light, put off the light. He can say only once, put off the light, stop the light, and he could have stopped the light. But second, put off the light, he wanted to bring across or bring out the life of Desdemona by putting a pillow on her face and killing her. So the same line, put off, put off. And also you might have known very popular one. I have to go miles before I sleep. What is the famous last two lines of the famous poem? Stopping by woods on a snowy evening by Robert Frost. The one meaning is the traveler who is going on the horse has to cross so many miles. That is, everybody knows. And the connotative meaning, second meaning is before you complete your journey as a man or human being, you have to achieve so many successes, so many great things. Here, sleep is death. Before death, I want to do so many things. So, the language meaning depends on the context. Many times, my daughters also make fun of me while I am talking with my wife. I address her in male gender and she addresses me in the female gender. I think you can understand. Huh? Adikadra, idira, idi adi. This is all depends on the connotative meaning. And very close people who are associated with me only can understand that language. This is connotative, communicative, contextual. So, the duty of the translator is to understand the connotative meaning of the word. I'll tell you another thing, another example also from the Quran also. The Quran tries to say a man has to take care of 8 women and they have made it as a polygamy that a man can marry 8 women without any problem. That is not the thing because at that time wars are more and men number is very less and the number of women is high and men is low. As a reason that he has said a man has to take care of 8 women, which has been connotative meaning you need to take. That is the thing that we have to understand. And try to understand Bhagavad Gita, which was there in 18 Adhyayas, which was said by Sri Krishna to Arjuna. When, when it was taught, when the both armies are ready, and Arjuna said that I can't kill my grandfather, I can't kill my teacher, all are my relatives only, and I do not want to continue the fight. Then only Arjuna, he has given this 18 and Adhyayas are chapters of Bhagavad Gita, which itself reads about 3 hours. Does Krishna explain you 3 hours in Arjuna? Not that. He might have mentioned in 3 words, and later the writer has explained for us common people in 300 pages or 30 pages. So the context is of very important. So the communication is of important. Okay, go to the next one. Coming to the D. Earlier in my lecture also I have mentioned about Eugene A. Naida, who is regarded as father of translation studies, modern translation studies. If you want to go, Panini's Ashtadhyayi itself is the beginning, which was there in Sanskrit, says about the rules of translation also. So, in the modern period, what word to word translation? It is something like it should be very faithful, as I said. Second one, it was proposed by J.C. Catford, sense to sense translation. It is what you can say text-based translation. The first one is author-based translation. Second one is a text-based translation, supported by J.C. Catford. And the third one is interpretation. Interpretation means more freedom, less faithful. More freedom and less faithful. It was proposed by Theodore Savary. So these are the things that we need to understand. Just it is the ratio of faithfulness and freedom. In the first category, faithfulness is more and freedom is less. In the second category, faithfulness is 90% and freedom is 10%. And in the third category, the freedom is 30% and faithfulness is 70%. I am not a statistician, but plus or more, plus or minus 5. This is my intention. Go to the next one. What is the main point we look at in translation? Translation should be equal. What you have said in the source language and in the target language, both must be equal. But it will never be equal. It is not like 5 into 2 is 10. In mathematics, 5 into 2 is 10. Always it is correct and it is 100% correct. And you can say it is equal also. 5 into 2 is equal to 10. You are clearly saying it is equal to 10. But in translation, 5 into 2 can be 9, can be 10, can be 11. You understand? That is why we use the word instead of equal, equivalence. Equivalence means plus or minus 1. That means nearer to equal, nearer to equal, nearer to equality, nearer to equal, nearer to equality. So sometimes that you do not find equal words. For example, I am going to the railway station. When I say in Telugu, నేను రైల్వే స్టేషన్ కి వెళుతున్నాను, I use the word railway station as it is. Then it is called a transliteration. That means bringing the word as it is. Bring it as it is because you don't have equivalent and so you borrowed it. You borrowed from the source language. Second one, translation. Find an equivalent and put it. That is a translation. And third one is transcreation. Transcreation means that you create a word more than the translation. It is translation plus creation. It is translation plus creation. If I want to say in Telugu these 3 words, transliteration means anukarana, following as it is. Translation, anuvadamu. Transcreation, anusrujana. Srujana means creation. That means creation is there as well as a translation is there. Okay. Nisivarnostodakamu. నిశివర్ణోష్టోదకము. ఎవరు చెప్పండి దీనికి ఇంగ్లీష్? నాకు బాగా ఇష్టం అది. మాట్లాడితే తాగుతూ ఉంటా రోజుకి 2 సార్లు. ఏం లేదండి,
కాఫీ.
కాఫీ. సో it is the thing that we need to talk. So transcreation. So the major duty of a translator is to bring the equivalence. Okay, we can go for the next slide. So these are the A, B, C, D, E. Okay, every translator should know that. A means aptitude, B means bring in and bring across, C means connotative meaning, D means keep in mind the diction, and E means bring equivalence. So these are the 5 basic rules. If you remember, you will be an ideal translator. And remember, who can do the work? The person who thinks he can. That's why this is my favorite quote all the time. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or later the man who wins is the man who thinks that he can. Okay, next. Next slide, please. And as I ask you, who is an ideal teacher? What is your role of the teacher? Try to be like Abdul Kalam. That is, the ideal teacher. Service to nature is service to you. Okay. When he came to Vijayawada and when he planted a neem tree, I was there. Actually, I took the photo and I used the same one till today. And now the small plant has become big, huge tree. You can come and see at Sita Nagaram, Ramakrishna Mission School. Okay, next. Next slide. That is what I have said. Best example. These are the qualities a student can learn A to Z. Next. Because time is up. I came to know that time is 1 hour only. We want that education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, and the intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand on one's own feet. That means you need to have an education system, education, which makes you self reliant. It is not done or said by me, it was said by Swami Vivekananda. Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. Don't try to create a new man. Already there is inside, there is a man. You just try to wake him up. That is the purpose of the education. That is the definition of the education by Swami Vivekananda. Thank you. Next. Next slide, please. Thank you. And any questions you can ask me. And before you ask me, I will show you a picture, a video. Please see the video, and after that, I discuss with you. Okay? Show the picture, love animals. Sudhir, can you make the play, love animals? Okay. Audio also try to put. It is not audible. Okay. No audio, but observe the picture. I will ask you questions. See, actually, the tiger which has seen the just born baby, the just born baby is afraid, but the tiger is trying to console it, trying to soothe it. Actually, it killed its mother for its food. But as soon as the tiger has seen the cheetah has seen the baby, immediately it came to the rescue of the baby. And the baby is afraid and it tries to escape. But see how care it is taking, the cheetah, when the baby is afraid. Who has given the language? What is the need of the language here? See how carefully the cheetah is taking care of the just born monkey. At first, it is afraid. It is taking with it. It might have felt my life is end. I am going to die like my mother. But it tries to give, see, Cain took it into its, like a mother. See, observe that. Who needs translation here? Who needs any verbal explanation here? Now the baby also sleeps. Now it understood that there is no problem for its existence. Now it is sleeping, very calm. This is what I say trans intersemiotic. Instead of words, it is all in action, all in non-verbal. Both are sleeping now, but it is aware, all the time alert. The cheetah. Show the next one, Praveen Amtes, the doctor's. Sudhir, can you play the Praveen Amte, the doctor video? Praveen Amte is a doctor who has spent all his 35 years of life, not this one. This is Japanese one. Okay, next we can see that.
Sir, there are some questions in the chat box, sir. Can you see
Okay,
them, sir?
let me check. Otherwise, let them ask chat box. Okay, chat box. Yeah. When Indian regional literature is translated into English to reach more readers, does it truly give voice to true cultures, or does it make English the center of literary importance? What is your opinion? My opinion is the first one. Okay. It tries to give the voice of the local cultures because those who do not know Sri Sri, those who do not know Ravi Sastri, those who do not know Vishwanath Satyanarayana, when their works are translated into other languages, the range has been improved. That's what I am saying. That is the answer, my answer. I don't know who
Any
has
other?
asked it. Unknown user.
Uh,
That is unknown user.
Debratra Hajra. Dr. Debra.
Okay, whoever it may be, I go for the first one. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
because it
Now,
tries to preserve the local cultures.
Mr. Kumar Vaibhav says, highly informative session. Noor Al Amin, yeah, he says, nicely explained. Any
Yeah,
more
now it
questions?
is open for discussion, open for questions.
Anybody can unmute your audio and video and ask questions.
Because of some technical glitch, some time has been not used. Those who wanted to see, you can see the videos also. Or the organizers can send you the videos also. And also you can share the PPT also. I have no objection.
Yes, sir. Questions. Anybody who wants to ask questions, you can unmute yourself. Unmute, uh, unmute your video. If there are no more questions, I'll thank sir. And somebody wants to speak. Okay, you can raise your hand. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
We sincerely appreciate with which you explained the concepts of translation studies in a very cogent manner. Even the beginners of translation studies could have easily understood the concepts explained by you. I hope more and more people will be drawn towards translation studies, and which is a thriving area. Wholeheartedly on behalf of Papatla Engineering College management, principal, faculty, and organizers for attending and giving your lecture in your busy schedule, sir. Being a principal is not easy. You are always busy, but still you have taken some time for us, for your students. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Sudhir Kumar. Thank you. And
Thank you, sir.
thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I request all of you just to think over and try to spread the concept of translation and its importance. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye
So,
bye.
dear participants, there
You
are
can
two
give your
sessions.
feedback also.
Yes,
Google
sure.
Forms will be
We have
supplied to them.
we have supplied, sir. We have supplied.
Yeah.
They will fill it out, sir. They'll fill it out. Dear participants, today we have two sessions in the morning, two parallel sessions. One is session 9, which will be hosted by Venkat Lakshmi, and session will be chaired by Dr. Lakshmi Kantarao Kargapati. And session 10 will be hosted by me, which session will be chaired by Jiraj Kumar. We will send the information related to that links of session 10 and session 9 separately. Please check your names. We will also post the picture of your names, and based depending upon that, you can join in the respective session. Starts at 11:30 sharp. Okay, we'll start now. So now we'll start. Whoever is ready, we will post the links in the groups, and you can join in the respective groups. You can check your WhatsApp group.